My mom has Ashkenazi Jew, English, Italian, French, German descent, and I'm actually 30% Ashkenazi Jewish, which is actually really, I don't know, I think it's really cool. My dad is Indian, 100% Indian. He was from Gujarat, but he was actually born in Uganda. So he grew up until he was about 15 years old in Uganda in the jungle, grew up super, super poor. He had 8 brothers and sisters. They were all Indian. But this dictator came in named Idi Amin and basically started to massacre all the Indians in Uganda. So he had to escape and flee, and he moved to London when he was 16, got his physics PhD, then came to America. My parents got pregnant with me when he had just started his MBA and was at Stanford. As growing up, I never had a sense of being Indian or any sort of grounding community, and I never looked really like my parents, and so I always felt like this outsider. And then as a person, I was always the black sheep. I was always the creative artist. I was always getting in trouble. I was the rebel. Looked plus my personality made me feel really unaccepted and like I didn't belong. Turned to fashion and self-expression to create my own sense of who I am and identity. I only went to India when I was in my 30s with my husband for the first time, and I went to visit South India and his family. My dad was very much a man of science. He didn't necessarily share a lot about the Indian culture, and then whenever I would actually go to England and visit my Indian relatives, they would be extremely, in my opinion, extremely racist and make me feel really uncomfortable. And they would use the word, white people and white women when they would talk about my mom. Of course, my Caucasian cousins on the East Coast would also be very disrespectful and racist and would see somebody on the street who was of Latin American descent and make comments that looked like a brown person when I would be driving in the car with them. I faced a lot of racism within the family and feeling other than, and seeing how these different familial tribes saw everyone else as so different, and yet I represented a very different look. I looked very, very different. Backstory on, I think, why I had a lot of issues growing up and insecurity. Totally embracing myself, and I'm so into self-expression because it's really, I think, what saved me from being a very insecure, scared, fearful person.